This is Art the Architect, and gonna say your name because you was trying to tell him how you was from Memphis last time.
Yeah, Salama of Sala Vegan
What's
from
up?
Memphis.
What's up? Well, we gonna say that every time. We from Memphis. We from Nah, I ain't gonna. I really enjoyed that first podcast. I want to say that was dope.
Yeah, me too.
That was interesting to keep the seed simple. At some point, we gotta get Balewa to not think so much and be in the air and get him on between the land and the water so he can be seen.
Yeah, we got it. We have to get him on here.
You know, I hadn't gotten any flack yet from my auntie. I think
Really?
auntie, she hadn't seen it yet. I'm not seeing it too.
That's the only reason why.
Hey, she gonna be like, what you say?
Somehow she needs to be forwarded a link.
Hey, I ain't gonna. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to. And I think I think her daughter liked it too. I'm not even gonna say her name.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but nah,
But no, it was great. I
yeah,
really
I
enjoyed it.
enjoyed it. Yeah, that worked. What I guess what have you gained from that? I guess from that last podcast to like now, just I mean, like it was so you hit on so many points that I know it got me to thinking like really in depth on how how to structure questions, not just how to structure questions, but how to structure my life going forward, like eating
Yeah,
through the like the food prep, like that's really helped shape and format to say, okay, here your green foods, here your lentils, here your rice, and
hmm,
like it's I'm starting to see some real function, some functionality for me and
yeah,
how I want to go forward. Just dealing in not necessarily just the times, but like just dealing in general, like how I wanna eat, how I
yeah.
wanna prepare.
I think it was really good timing to start this just because we're going into the winter months
Mhm.
and I feel like people are looking for ways to just really um, consume better foods, build their immune system. I feel like we touched on a lot of that in the first episode.
Yeah.
Just in general, like I think the podcast struck a lot of conversation amongst my circle of friends.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, and then just kind of shining light on a lot of topics that we can talk about in
Mhm.
depth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it was a really good kickstart.
Yeah, I think so too because I also so I'm in a community called After Dark and we discuss like so we may have a speaker just like if I'm going to a university. So we may have a speaker that comes in and
Hmm.
he or she is talking on their specialty. Like we had just had Killer Mike. Then the next one had like 19 Keys, Brother being X, and I can't think of the other brother's name.
Okay,
But Dame Dash is coming in to speak on one of the next, you know, I guess I'll just say the next, he was the next guest speaker. But
nice.
that's cool. But,
Hmm.
and no knock at them being like the people that they become or whatnot. But it's just more or less being able to interact with people from around the world
Yeah,
in this time. And it's just like, it's almost like you being that one person, it's a thousand people like pushing you forward
hmm,
that you might come across through just conversation or what they got going on in their prospective lives.
yeah,
And to like add that into what I'm doing, meet some younger people, meet some older people, and it's just like everybody's just feeding and pushing. So it's just that's what's been dope for me.
nice,
Yeah,
nice. Making those connections.
yeah, making the connections because some like you said, somebody looking for it. So just
Yeah,
imagine if I send a link in to 3,000 people, and after those 3,000 people hear it, it might be 10 or 20 of them or 30 of them that hear it.
hmm,
Now it's a product that we have. You say, okay, I just came up with an idea for some kale chips. This is just an example. I like that kale salad. Yo, this is Art the Architect with More Than a Haircut podcast. Tune in every Friday for new content. Definitely on Anchor as well as YouTube and on IG. Hit your boy up. It's More Than a Haircut. I how can I say this? I when I heard, like I said, when I heard Erica Badu, she was
Mm-hmm.
always my girlfriend in my mind. I was like, damn. But
Um,
when she was talking about being a vegetarian, um, I feel like that was just like how we say keep it seed simple. I feel like that was a journey that I was on my way of wanting to, be or know what she was speaking of and the importance of vegetarian. So, like, how would you define vegetarian? And then, like, how would you define vegan? Like,
okay.
just from you being around it for so long, and it's almost like it's not almost, it's like this is your culture
Right.
in a nutshell. Like I told you, I was around chitlins and pigs. We had land and everything, going over my uncle's house. And I'm like, damn, that's a pig. That's a real pig. We finna eat that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, vegetarian is usually associated with people who would eat cheese and dairy. They'll eat dairy products, they'll eat eggs,
Uh,
but they just won't eat meat or fish. Um, and then a vegan would eat no animal products at all, like no dairy, no eggs, nothing associated with an animal.
mm,
And then some vegans will, I mean, technically, you're not vegan if you wear leather or uh,
I'm not. That wasn't Peter. Listen, Peter.
it
Like that.
all
Like that
look
little boy said, Linda. Listen, Peter.
right. So
I'm learning. Peter.
I feel like it all depends on how you define it, but
Mhm.
that's the gist of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
like, I guess this is more or less like a skill question. Like, what's the verses then? I heard it, like
Hmm.
this is what this is. This is I guess what I'm framing the question is like, what's a better? Just like we just had the Gucci and the Jeezy, they had a
Hmm.
verses and they came together. Like, what's the verses to make them come together? Like, what pieces that together?
I mean, the both of them I would say are better than just a strict carnivore diet because you are like with the vegetarians, they are consuming less animal products,
Mm-hmm.
but the vegan lifestyle, you're stripping yourself of all animal
Oh,
products.
yeah.
Yeah. So each of them, they're sacrificing something. It's a cleaner diet, but if you are a vegan,
Mm-hmm.
you're not fooling with any animal, no animal at all,
Yeah.
like
When I was
none whatsoever.
Yeah, when I was vegan, my homeboys would be like, or my folks would be like, man, here he come. He over here
Yeah,
eating his bird food. And I ain't gonna lie, some of that
you
food tasted like I was eating cardboard. I ain't gonna lie. I was
you probably eat the wrong stuff,
like,
but
but it
nah,
wasn't,
like that was a thing growing up too.
your dad that was making it. So yeah, it definitely was tasting like cardboard. So I'm like, shit, this
Yeah,
ain't it.
you were
This
struggling,
eating it.
but
I'm like,
yeah. Growing up, honestly, for a while, I was associated. I was all I know was a vegetarian diet.
mm,
Now, that's just the term we use. Um, but we weren't eating any animal products.
yeah.
Yeah. So for a while, I was calling myself a vegetarian, but we were actually living a vegan lifestyle. Yeah.
Not in my house. Like, go get the barbecue sauce. As a matter of fact, go get the wood for the grill, and we
Light it
got,
up.
we got a chopped shoulder. You got. Oh, it's finger
You
licking.
and this chopped shoulder.
Oh, it's my daddy cooking. It ain't even a chopped shoulder. It's the cooking versus
I got you.
I'm not. I probably have a whole problem.
Yeah.
So this made me think about because I had a homegirl and she was talking about, okay, she's a vegetarian vegan. whatever she want to label herself. But it's like, how would you suggest someone transitioning to it? And then not only that, how do you make it inclusive to your child or your mate or whatnot? Like, how do you make them inclusive so they can understand why you're doing what you're doing, and how and the effects of what you're doing? Like, how would you approach that?
Yeah, I think it's important to stress the why. I guess it all depends on the age group too. But if they're old enough, speaking of the children, shoot, everybody, um, just letting them in on the knowledge piece. From a health standpoint, you can even bring in just your overall like sustainable footprint. You know, it's so many ways to communicate it now.
Mm,
Um, I think that expressing the why um, would allow them to transition easier. You know, they're not just thinking that you're coming and bringing a fad in the house. You know,
yeah.
like you just a new thing that likely is disruptive to what they want, and then that's associated with all kind of emotions and whatnot. But I think that if you are transparent about the why,
Mm-hmm.
transparent about how it will help them um, long term and how it will help the family as a whole,
Yeah.
that it will be better accepted.
That
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense because it's I can see just I guess from reading certain books, like I read a book on Gary Vee about how technology is disrupting certain business structures in the past, and I would always hear Nipsey Hussle talk about this too. So it's like I can see how that would be disruptive to the family ecosystem. Because it's like, all right, you're doing something outside of the norm when
Right.
I think our era was like real microwave. But
Mm.
I won't say it was real microwave. It was when like the microwave was just getting started.
Okay.
But my family was cooking all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was that bucket on the floor. But no, I ain't gonna even talk about that. But if my dad was cooking or like my uncle was cooking, it's like we finna have some food. They finna throw down on the grill.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm the disruptor to the ecosystem. Everybody ecosystem. They're like, this motherfucker crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking orange juice with cayenne pepper. No, go get that liquor. You finna drink this liquor.
Mhm.
Or, just changing up the changing up what I was substituting, and now it's like, damn, this is really helping me. And
Yeah.
I can see it in my thinking, I can see it in my energy, I can see it in my vibe, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Versus saying, okay, I eat something and I'm feeling like, damn, I'm kind of like sluggish.
Mhm.
So I can only imagine like just the disruption, and now to like I guess transition into what is sustainable management. Because like I said, you asked me, or no, you was I think I was asking you what is an architect,
Mhm.
and it took for me to look it up, and I'm like, all right, that's why my brother called it. Man,
Mhm.
I was always attached to it. I say this in like the public facet of what I do and how I operate, but the backside of knowing the information, like what is an architect. So what is sustainable management, and what is sustainable management? I won't go into the next question.
Okay. Um, so sustainable management is, I mean, okay, so when you just back it up to sustainability,
Okay.
um,
Because yeah, you said you were answering in
mhm,
sustainability. So
yeah, it's all based on what's been known as the triple bottom line: the environment, the people, and the economy.
mm,
So you know how you have a business structure, a business um, who is always aiming to meet that bottom line, and it's usually associated with the financial aspect of the company, the financial performance. But when you think about sustainability, you're thinking about not just the economic performance,
mm-hmm.
but you're thinking about the environmental impact that you have,
Okay.
the impact that you have on social equality and inclusion, the impact that you have not just on profit, but how you're investing your money, the return on your finances. And so triple bottom line means you're giving weight, equal weight to all three categories when you think about any decision.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So it's almost like checkers and chess. Almost, it's like from a standpoint of what we used to do was just checkers, but now this is more or less like, yes, I'm looking at this from an investing standpoint, but if what I'm investing into has to impact what I'm doing, and I
yeah.
can break that down in my life to like seeing something as simple as everything is transitioning to agriculture as far as like cannabis and hemp.
Hmm.
So if I invest into hemp right now, then I'm not just investing into the agriculture piece. This can be eaten. This can be used for medicinal purposes. This can be
Hmm.
used for homes, roads, concrete, and it's like it's substantial, like you said, substantial. You know,
Yeah.
substantial. That's why
So,
too.
yeah, so what you just listed were all the purposes, um, all the uses.
Mm,
But if, let's say, I were to come on and help you with your sustainability management, I
okay,
would ask you who's harvesting it.
okay.
You are you, equally including all people? Who are you hiring, basically? Um, are you wasteful with your resources when growing a crop, like down to the T?
Down to
So
so that's like a triangle offense. I get you. I'm
yeah,
listening.
so I think, to tie it back into, let's say, the the culture, right? I
Hmm.
think that if we start to look at our culture and how we break bread with one another
Okay.
on a sustainable level, then it's not just about coming in, putting a slab of ribs on the grill just out of comfort. It's about, my family has gathered here. We probably celebrating some, or we might not be celebrating anything, but we
We just
breaking bread
eat.
together. We just chilling. We
Yeah.
just want to be around each other. That's just how we vibe, and it's usually around food. Well, what are you feeding your family? How is it going to affect them
Nice.
5 years down the line? Then you just see how you take it to a whole nother level, right? It's not about just now. It's
That's
about
the plan.
tomorrow. It's about what these children are watching you
Yeah.
do, you
Yeah.
know? So if you look at, I went into sustainability just because of how holistic it is.
Hold on. Can I ask the question? But nah, keep going. I'm just chilling. I'm just I was just about to ask you that.
My bad.
No, you cool.
What's up?
Nah, you cool.
No, I'm just saying it falls into my passion for the vegan lifestyle, and just all of it just intertwines with one another.
Yeah, I see because it's like I'm thinking about okay, what kind of what kind of product can I put out as a barber that just that one product and not trying to oversaturate myself. So it's
Mhm.
still substantial. It's like substantiability. And now I'm in a process now where it's like when I would force something, like if I try to force being around and getting people to hear what I'm saying and they not listening, I'm wasting my time. So if
Mhm.
I focus it on myself and it's like, okay, here's the product that's needed for the barbershop for your clients. It may be just as something as simple as a shampoo. Then
Mhm.
I need to focus on that and that'll help me be substantial, you know what I'm saying, and sustainable. So now it's like that's really got me thinking from a standpoint also of producer and a consumer
Mhm.
because um most of the people that I know are consumers. What we consuming on like Netflix or
Mhm.
TV if you watch TV or the radio. So it's like if all you consuming is what you seeing from outside of yourself, what are you doing for yourself? Where is
Yeah.
consumption to help expand? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if you if you turn that focus on the inside, it's gonna what's gonna come out is just what the work you put in. So like
Yeah.
me being able to transition to see that. So if I'm consuming content from someone, it has to help me produce what I want to produce. So I
So
will say there's
collective.
yeah, it's just like the intertwine. Then like when I produce something, it's gonna be based on what I consume
Yeah.
and what consumes my time. Like what you said, like okay, it intertwines with the veganism.
Mhm.
It intertwines with the substantial management too, and
Yeah.
it's also the finances. So it's just like it's kind of like that's where my life is now. It's like oh, this shit just been going.
Yeah.
It's been chaotic, but now it's like okay, the pendulum is not it's not swinging like that anymore. I'm swinging and I'm shit.
You seeing how to control that chaos, and I think that um we're all talking about self-care more. We're talking about self-love more. And I
Mental
think,
health.
yeah, what you just described is just people, we're all becoming more in tune with ourselves. We're
Mm-hmm.
starting to feel more comfortable having conversations, like transparent conversations about
Right.
basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it all speaks to people wanting to consume um, sustainably,
Yeah.
like being like what you just said, like realizing, we talk about trauma, we talk about all these things, realizing that, let's say, so I'm 32, realizing that over the 32 years, I might have not have realized what I was consuming, right? Mental, spiritually, physically. But what I'm reaping right now is the results of what I've consumed over those 32 years. And so I think due to the dialogues we're having with one another,
Mm-hmm.
due to people trying to transform and feeling more comfortable with looking in the mirror, we're
Mm-hmm.
able to critique all of those 32 years and be like, hey, like I want a different result.
Yeah.
So let me change the input. And so I think that's how more and more people are more open to, like, and I'm gonna go back to the ribs, replacing the ribs with some
It's about it. I feel like I
hey,
feel
just
like a sad ass puppy right there. It's like you can't take the reels away.
hey,
I feel no,
we're
it's
taking the ribs off the table.
no, that's I mean that's it's only fair to say that because it's just like I look at a deer and my homie had hit a deer I want to say early in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like he hit a deer. He was like, I'm like, damn, that deer tore up his car. But like, what is this deer eating?
And yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
strong animal
what is a what is
off
a,
of some
what is
grass.
a, what is a ape eating? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? What do the ant like? How do the ants eat? Because they can live 10 times their own weight. So I'm just like, all right, some has to change up. So my change up is, hey man, I'm finna do this 21-day juice fast. No, I'm not gonna eat the shitless auntie. No, I'm not gonna eat the reals auntie. I'm not. No, they
Look away, look away.
shits. I'm finna do the Kanye on you. I like a little ass kid right there. But no, okay, I got you. I got you. I got you.
We're going all over the place, but it
Um,
all makes it
but I'm
all is
saying
connected.
but it's still on sustainable management. Like, okay, like how does it? Because you did answer, but you didn't. Like, how does it work for you, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then what does it entail in the future? I think that's important now because like what you've answered is making me think in terms of what I'm already working on too. But
Yeah. So I studied sustainability management at Columbia, and my whole focus there, well, the majority of my focus was based around the built environment,
mm,
around buildings and their performance. That was my main interest. So as far as working for me, like I have been relating it to buildings and energy efficiency and whatnot, how a building performs, how a building is designed, what's being considered when you're designing the building and whatnot. But but like I said, it just speaks to a process, right?
mm-hmm,
It speaks to how you can benchmark and measure something's performance, right?
mm-hmm,
All of the considerations that you want to take um, to develop metrics. So I just talked about buildings, but let's say you or someone else, they want to get to a certain level of performance. What type of factors are you considering? How are you measuring them? You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people talk about weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. But what other measurements? How about you track your cholesterol? How about you track your blood pressure?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I mean, it's just all about accountability, developing metrics, develop all of this to reach the goals that you want, actually to surpass your goals. So
Mm-hmm.
whether it is a building, whether it is health, whether it is, your company's hitting a certain mark or whatever, it's just
It's all,
account.
yeah, it's like it's really like an embodiment that's going on for me. Just
Mm,
you know what I'm saying, like hearing what you're saying. It's almost like I feel like now I'm living in a realm of infinity now
okay.
because of what we tapping into and how fast the information is coming, and it's like it's overwhelming on
Mm-hmm.
the support and the love that's in the group that I'm in, and it's like I paid to get in a network, not necessarily with my money, but with my energy. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because now somebody's gonna get something from, you know what I'm saying, the veganism and what's a vegetarian. And now, like I don't know many people that have even thought about substantial management. So now I'm like, okay, how do I add technology into the barbershop is one of my biggest feats that I'm looking at in the future. So with that being said, how does it impact the future? Substantial management.
Sustainability management
Man,
and
I said, my bad.
no, you good. And it's already impacting the future. Um, the word that pops out to me the most is policing transparency. Like
Yeah, I need an example of that.
you have some of these major corporations who were, let's say before people were taking sustainability seriously,
Mm,
making a lot of profit, but
it was
emitting so many pollutants into our environment, speeding up climate change.
mm,
Like, yeah, you're able, and I won't name any companies, but yeah, you're able to purchase some of the most famous products, the most, you love these products, but because of the lack of transparency, because of the lack of metrics, because of the lack of advocacy
mm,
for a healthier lifestyle, these companies were able to make profits out of this world without any policing of transparency in how they operate.
got you.
So it's changing the future in that sense that these corporations are being required to create sustainability reports. That's why earlier I kept talking about metrics. I kept talking about efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of these things, if you just think about it, and I know I'm saying a lot of different terms and
But it's still fit. I'm saying like that fit into like everything. But I'm
everything,
because
every
because me personally, like this is not something that's conversed about. Like it's
right.
it's almost like a when I hear it, I hear a triangle offense. The different
Okay.
the different points that you covered.
Yeah.
It's like you saying economy, which is like finances,
Yep.
the sustainability. You know what I'm saying? It's like
People
yeah, the people. It's like
and the environment.
it's like you need these things.
Yeah.
You can't make it. You know what I'm saying without the other. And it's like I feel as though the power is more in the people's hand, and it's making me think about the phase in cryptocurrency.
Mm.
How it's like it's also I'm not just gonna say the next efficient thing on transactions, but it's like if PayPal adopts this coin, or if PayPal adopts this technology, and then other companies invest into this, yeah, you're gonna see a rise in this investment. But it's just more or less, we don't. Most people relative to us don't pay attention to it. But I'm like, I'm glad that my homeboy was introducing me into, hey man, here go the stock market, here go this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
The only reason my father didn't do it because he didn't know about the stock market, because he was an older man in college and he was asking questions, and one of his professors was shutting him down, like, hey, don't ask no more questions. But to me, a genius asks questions. And then if you ask him now, just imagine 20 years ago, he could have bought 1,000 shares of Amazon for $1 a piece.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
like when you say, you know what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
management, I was like, shit, it makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. But I think you speaking on, um, the lack of conversation around financial management.
But I think
Um,
culture too. In culture, we don't.
I think just applying that people, environment, and economy in that dynamic too. You know, we're talking about the economy, bringing that into your family, into your household, talking about all three of those things on a regular.
That's what
Yeah.
economics. That's what economics mean.
Yeah.
Economics mean household management.
See right there.
Um, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in the terms, but if it's just in a term and we don't see it, and all we get is, oh, we getting this information from the TV, and it's all we see. So
Yeah.
what else do you expect?
And it's a good thing to do, like as far as like regrounding, right? Because if you go too far in one direction, you got a family that's oriented about making money and
Mm-hmm.
making money only,
Mm-hmm.
but they're feeding themselves, you know,
Terrible.
terrible foods. And
Chitlins.
I mean,
Them
it-
chitlins.
it's
How
just
they
a
calling
good,
you, auntie? They calling you. Let them go. Let them go. What Eric I do say? Let it go. Let it go. You said let them go, auntie. Yeah, I'm saying let them go.
hey, for real. Like that's just a good thing to just to keep, you know, refocusing, recentering, hitting on those three things. Yeah.
Oh, I got so good for you. It's kind of
So,
like, you know how you go to Florida and you able to put your feet in the water and the sun. Man, it's hot.
yeah.
Um, I felt crazy doing this fast, but like, um, my question is like, why fast? Because I have my reasons, which I was just fast because I met this old crazy ass man, and he was like, "Hey, I'm fasting and I'm doing this." I'm like, "Fast?" I would hear the word, but I'm like,
Yeah, with
well, let me
fast.
do let me do a couple of days no
Yeah.
water, see how they go. I mean, only water, not no water, but
Yeah.
no food. Let me do a 21 day, you know what I'm saying, with like no meat or whatever. And shit, let me be vegan. And now I'm like, let me do a 21-day juice fast. Like, I got something from the fast. I got more. I found that I'm more disciplined in those moments. But why would you say fast?
My detox, cleansing, cleansing your body, cleansing your mind, cleansing your spirit. I used to fast a lot growing up. My mom and I would fast like basically every weekend we would do a fast of some sort. What? Why are you laughing?
I'm gonna tell you what I was thinking about when you said fast. I was thinking about how fast my dad was driving to go get them ribs. He was driving fast as a mother. I'm like, man,
Oh
them
my
things, I feel like Bill Cosby right now. I'm licking the ribs. I'm licking the bone. I'm licking the chicken. I'm eating they say the bone marrow. I'm like, you gotta be
just
crazy.
out of
The bone marrow out of the chicken. Damn, that's nasty.
oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, but nah, I just I'm glad that I did do it because it just showed me it showed me something after like just the whole thing being in the garden and then
Yeah.
fasting, like really just paying attention to my mind, like, oh damn, if I just drink some water, dang, I don't really gotta eat all this food. This is it's sustaining me.
Yeah.
And I can add some lemon and then later on let me go get a green juice.
Mhm.
I'm saying it's got celery and it's got kale and it's got some beet juice and it's got some lemon to give me those. Really, I just say that electricity that I need.
Mm.
So now it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I got that, and I'm going on. I got more energy than I would if I'm laying. I'm like, I gotta get some rest. I'm in a different zone,
That's
but
another thing too.
yeah,
Recovering, getting that rest. That's one of my biggest challenges. I think it allows you to like be more in tune. So I said detox because it is gonna cleanse you. Even if you don't go on a water fast or whatever, it's gonna do some type of cleaning to your system.
uh,
And what you just described, like realizing that, hey, I could just drink some water and I'm okay. Like I think it cleanses you to a point of where clarity, right? Like you can see when you're really just acting out of pattern. Like you don't really need what you think you need, right?
yeah. Your mind, whatever that thing is, whoever that is in my head, he was like, you don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean I was
Go
what
make
what
some beet juice. Go make some mix some carrot juice with it, and then I'm like, this
yeah.
this actually
Cause you
tastes
had
good.
those moments. You had those moments where you feel like you need something else.
Oh,
But
I saw it. I was like, fool, you need to go eat. Nah, then I was like, nah, let me go on. I gotta make it to 21 days. And I really wish I would have did 30 because it was like coming out of it, I'm just
mm-hmm,
like, I can't eat. I can't eat like I was eating. It's
yeah,
like you mentioned going, eating raw. And I'm like, yeah, I can see that. And
mhm,
steaming, like steaming some food, like
yeah,
steaming some cabbage or like some bok choy and different things
right.
like
Light heat.
yeah, like he like really getting into the foods that
Mm-hmm,
produce what I need and learning about them. You know what I mean? Like
right,
this is the proper
right.
time to change and go in overdrive.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So to answer your question, my biggest thing would be just
Mm.
cleansing on all levels.
But how do you feel like it optimizes your lifestyle though? Like how do you feel about that?
I think that is a good thing to do on a regular basis because it allows you to like evaluate where you are and then take it up a notch.
So you saying
Like,
like daily, monthly, week? What you mean?
um, I would say at least monthly, some
Okay.
type of fast,
Yeah.
some type of fast every month.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I
that work.
yeah, just cleansing your body and then like checking your discipline, right? Because I mean, we just spoke about discipline and then to stick to a fast, you just did 21 days. Like
I
that
feel
took some discipline.
yeah, there was some. I can't even say the word because they might censor me. I might get put back in Facebook jail.
I'll zoom in and
I
sit
need
real
look. I
quick.
need if I get back in Facebook jail, I need somebody to come bail me out quick because I know I can't get no help from my auntie because I keep talking about her. But one of
Yeah,
y'all gotta come.
that's a done deal. Don't call your auntie now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, every month, I think. Um, every month will be good. Just a little check-in, a little self-check-in.
Uh, People ain't gonna like me. They gonna be like, damn, how you do this? I'm like, shit. It takes some real discipline. It's kind of like me teaching my son about being a consumer versus a producer. Like it took, look at this card.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what's on the card? No, I don't see what's on the card. Look at the card. Look at the card. But it
Yeah.
took like that initial step to show him the card and discuss it and talk about it and relate it to something that was around him. So he may not get it, but at some point he gonna start thinking about it. Like, all right, what's taking my time up, what's causing me to not be productive and
Yeah.
myself. So now, okay, well, shoot, I could produce 3 books a year. Let me focus
Mhm.
on it.
Yeah.
Let me do a sequel. Like, I know you working on some stuff too. So,
Yeah.
diet versus lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gobble gobble season. You know what I'm saying? They about to. I know. Some of my folks about to have that dry ass bird. I know they don't. And then I know them. I know my homeboy from Philly. He gon' when I say bird, he gonna mess with me. But them the bird dry as hell. They finna the hell out of it.
Diet versus lifestyle. The word diet is so annoying to me.
Why?
I mean, it's just,
I'm on my diet though. That's what they be saying. I'm finna do a diet. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, Shawty, that's you about to do a lot. It's really about to be a lifestyle change if you really look
yeah. I mean, I just feel like diet is associated with a temporary fad. Like it's not something that's just gonna become a part of your everyday routine.
or like when the ladies be wearing the baby hairs, like they be and then
But
they be
see
having
that went away and came back.
they be having them butterflies on their eyelashes. Be like, lady,
Hey,
you about to fly away. I know
I'm
you.
I'm convinced that all of that is a lifestyle now. It has not left.
Yeah, when they put that shit on the car, I knew it was a lifestyle. I was like, this lady,
Hey,
this like
I'm all about a little flair, but when you get all the way out, I think there should be like a limit on how far
oh,
it
no,
can
no, no,
go.
no. This lady put some eyelashes on her car. I was like,
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
yeah, I was just like,
That's a lot. No offense to the people out there with the eyelashes
I'm
on.
offensive with that shit. Fuck that. Don't, mama, don't put no eyelashes on your car. I'm coming,
Yeah,
I'm coming to see about you. I'm coming to knock on your door, like, like that, mom. But
yeah. But
I,
I vibe with lifestyle much more than diet. I mean, just make it just just make it permanent, you know? A permanent and of course, you might switch it up, right? You might be eating cooked food this year and 2 years later you might be all raw, but the mentality, the lifestyle is I think more so connected to the mentality. Like, you want better for yourself.
mm,
So what does it look like right now? All right. Next time you a fast, right? We talked about a monthly check-in with the fasting.
yeah,
At this point, I'm gonna check in. How do I want to optimize from here? Then that might transition into all raw. Who knows? But adopting that lifestyle is all about mentality.
yeah, you gotta have a strong will and mentality to take some hot sauce, take a fork. Oh, oh, auntie.
I'm sorry, I can't imagine it. Like I just can't.
Yeah, I can't either. I'm like that Lisa Simpson meme. That is, I can't.
I just
So
thank you, mom and daddy, for not giving me chitlins.
yeah, I can't. I ain't had them. I just was around them. I'm glad. I'm glad I ain't get affiliated with the hot sauce industry.
Yeah,
That would have been a problem. But this has definitely been dope. But I ain't ready to challenge the people. But we gonna have to. Uh,
yeah,
we're gonna figure out how we're gonna do it too. You know what I'm saying? Because I want them to be able to check in with it. But I think at some point we definitely need to do a 3-day fast and have people like check in and chime in, whether that be, the respective people that tune in, they can send a DM or email or whatnot. But just let us know how they want to participate when we choose a day and we'll put it out there
right.
for fast.
Yeah,
But
I'm down for that.
I think the how I guess I'm looking forward. I'm excited about what's presented on the table and really what we got to look forward to. So That being said, what would you like to do after Thanksgiving? Because I know these folk about to eat. It's about to be some good eats.
Yeah, everybody's gonna need a good cleansing after that. I say we need to shoot for 3-day raw fast. You look so sad.
I ain't
Gosh.
really sad. I'm actually like I'm trying to talk to myself like, how are we gonna do a raw fast? Like we gotta eat wood or something. Like
No.
what's
No.
raw? Like, cause I don't know what that is.
I mean, okay. Let me clarify.
Yeah,
You
cause that's
you won't be consuming any cooked foods. So,
cause
I
we
mean,
might
there's
we might
plenty of options.
listen,
All kind of salads,
listen before we
juices.
listen. Cause we might have when you said raw, some people probably they mind probably went to the gutter. No, we not.
Okay, well, I'm talking about food.
Yeah,
I'm talking about food that doesn't require heat.
like
So,
like um like
um,
I need some examples.
okay. So, one of
I'm
my favorite raw dishes would be just a leafy green salad with a scoop of beet salad, a scoop of carrot salad.
salad. Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah,
Carrots and what else?
carrot salad, and
Man, my
like
mouth is
some
watering.
lentil and mung bean sprouts on top.
Yeah,
That's how you can get some protein.
I'm about to send some cash up. I need a plate right now.
And then you drizzle it with you know, some vegetable,
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking because I don't know. I don't know. I'm like this raw. I understand the
right.
fast and the juice fast, but like I
Well,
know
we just
this.
gonna have to. We'll provide more details when we launch the fast. But it's all live food. It's easy. It's all live food. You can
Oh,
create yourself a fruit salad.
that's
You
easy for somebody that's been talking to the vegan guys for all her life. Shit.
can guys.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Your mama and your daddy, they vegan guys. Come on, cause
so I
mine,
mean,
shit, we had the land and the meats and the foods. We could eat.
well,
Granddad had that deer sausage in the freezer. Shit,
okay. We're gonna have to help the people out. We're gonna have to get some
I'm
recipes to
him.
go along with this fast. But it will give us the cleanse that we need after all that cooked food that a lot of people are gonna be eating during our Thanksgiving day. And then it'll also recharge us because when you eat raw foods, you get more energy. You touched on it earlier.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so I think that would be a good start for us and our team, whoever wants to join in and do it with us. Um, Yeah, just live, all live. We can get them some salad recipes. We can give them some juice recipes. One of the biggest things that I would like to touch on, and maybe my dad will help us out on that segment,
Mhm.
is the sprouting part because there's so much to talk about when it comes to sprouting,
Yeah, 'cause
especially.
that's what I
Yeah,
was, that's what I was thinking about, like sprouting lentils during that time. You know what I mean? Because I know like that that alone, that was a great process for me.
yeah,
You know.
and it's really easy, and you know that's one of the biggest concerns for a lot of people is just protein.
Hmm.
And if you learn how to sprout, then you can easily like get all the protein you need with the sprouts. So
What, like, cause I know of sprouting lentils. Like, what else would you suggest sprouting though? Would you do black? Would you sprout black beans or something? Or no, that's too. That's too
so
much.
my dad has sprouted a lot of beans, a lot of legumes. He sprouted pinto beans. He sprouted peanuts.
Beans.
He sprouted. He's probably sprouted
Yeah.
anything you can think of.
You probably
Buckwheat.
sprouted some oatmeal.
He sprouted sesame seeds, flax seeds for sure. I mean,
That's cold.
and it's beautiful, like
I
just
already know. That's like
fresh,
pain.
fresh, all freshness, and that's some of the survival into the 20th Century. That book gives a breakdown on sprouting, and it breaks down like on a cellular level how what you're getting from sprouts, because it's like that's new life, right? When it breaks through that seed and you eat it at a certain point, like soon after, you're getting so much energy. You get more energy from that new growth than you would a fully mature plant in some ways.
You would get more from the new growth. Why?
Yeah,
Because it was sprouting.
because it's new. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
My son,
But
I know he gonna have to be vegan then, it's because he was made veganly. So it's like, bro, you gonna
I like that term, veganly.
don't start veganly. I'm living a veganly fruitful lifestyle.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna, now I'm gonna have to be on a commercial talking this type of shit. No, but no, that's. I think my son gonna have to be a vegan again. I'm like, bro, here goes the this. You need to read all of this. This is your assignment because you ain't gonna understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, there's a lot of options when we go on this raw fast next week. Yeah.
I felt like I just jumped out a window right there.
Hey, we'll be all right.
Yeah, oh no, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I mean, that's like that's sustainable management.
Okay,
Like,
new terms. It's okay. Sustainability management. Go ahead. I mean, if you want to rename it, that's cool.
no, that's because I'm like, damn, what is this? But it like just listening to the background alone, I just feel like my mind shifted to because I still got to get my I still got a bone to pick. I need my information on the architect, but the sustainable management though, it's like now hearing that piece, that's gonna make me more efficient in this round. Like, well, where are the hemp neck strips? You know what I mean? Like now that I have a product, the market is I integrate vertically into the market. So now let me create this product. Let me create this product now.
Yeah.
So that way, if I'm going this rate, I'm using something that can continuously be used and it can continue to grow versus the length of time that it take on the trees. We might come up with some hemp chairs. You know what I mean? So that's just where my mind be taking things like.
Yeah.
How am I going to impact the culture with knowing that everything is getting legalized on the cannabis tip, on the hemp tip? So how can I really like what can I tap into in that market and bring to this to the barber game now? So that's I definitely I can see how this is gonna help what I got going on grow and how it's gonna impact others. So
yeah,
I ain't gonna because I know we can go on and on because it's a hell of a lot, you know.
yeah.
Shout out to my auntie for not jumping on my ass yet. Well, I know she is. Again, like I definitely appreciate you taking that time to do this. We got to keep it
Likewise.
going. You know what I mean? And I'm already an architect. And who are you, ma'am? And where you from? You gotta tell them. Tell them.
Sala from Memphis 10 with Sala Vegan, living in Atlanta.
Right. And we keeping it simple for real. They gonna understand in a minute. They gonna be like, oh, that's some dope. It is.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna take no more time. I appreciate it.
Peace.
Peace.